Bad news for all Zoe Kravitz fans out there. The hit HBO series Big Little Lies will not be returning for a third season. In an unfortunate turn of events, the director of the series, Jean-Marc Vallée, passed away last year and left the show kind of directionless. Kravitz seems to think there's no way for the show to go on without him. Stay tuned for this and more on the beloved actress. First up, Ms. Kravitz confirmed what most fans already suspected to be true. In a recent video interview with GQ, she stated that while they had talked about doing a third season quite a bit, the death of director Vallée made it difficult to imagine going on without him. She said, "He really was the visionary for that show. So unfortunately, it's done." That's an interesting statement, considering that David E. Kelley was the creator and executive producer of the series, and wrote quite a few of the episodes. Kravitz never even mentioned Kelley in her response, but made it pretty clear that she believed Vallée to be the glue that held the show together, and other members of the BLL family remain optimistic about another season. David E. Kelley, who wrote the series, said last year that reuniting the cast would be a scheduling nightmare, but he said that he wouldn't say it was impossible. With that said, the acclaimed series, starring famous names like Nicole Kidman, Reese Witherspoon, Laura Dern, and Shailene Woodley, aired its final original episode in June 2019, with the second season finale. And let's just say fans continued to hope that a delayed third season would start filming after the pandemic ended. But Kravitz hesitantly crushed those hopes with her GQ interview. Kravitz co-star Nicole Kidman even said that Kelley and Liane Moriarty, writer of the book that the series is based on, had some great ideas for a third season. Following up, a third season was always going to be a long shot. The series was planned to be a single-season event series anyway, but its popularity had HBO develop a second season. Moriarty was brought on board to write a new story based on the same characters, and Meryl Streep joined the cast, but creative issues allegedly plagued this season. Vallée was not responsible for the direction of the episodes in the second season. It was all Andrea Arnold. If anything, Vallée was busy working on another project at the time, but he would drop in during post-production from time to time and would heavily re-edit all the work. At times, he would even order huge reshoots because he wasn't too fond of the creative direction that Arnold had taken. Honestly, he tried his best, but the final result was nowhere near as good as the first season. Critics and fans alike found the second season's quality to have taken a drastic hit, especially when compared with the first, even after Vallée's efforts to fix it. After his passing last year, it seemed like there was no way to revive the already dying series. That's probably where Kravitz was coming from when she said that it was difficult to imagine going on without him. Not to mention, if there was going to be a third season, what could we expect from it? We've got spoilers ahead. Don't say we didn't warn you. The ending of the second season was less than satisfactory. We saw Mary Louise and Celeste getting into a fight in court over who would get custody of Celeste's kids as Celeste attempted to try and handle her own case. Despite the pretty big risk, she won. She came into court with evidence of Mary Louise's son and husband abusing her by showing a video that one of her kids had recorded. Even though Celeste won custody of her children, the question remained: did she still want Mary Louise in her life? Viewers were left wondering whether they would be able to move past the complications in their love-hate relationship. We also saw Madeline and Ed McKenzie getting back together and renewing their vows. But the question on everyone's mind was, what charges were they going to face now that the Monterey Five had admitted to murdering Perry? Would Bonnie end up in jail? Coming up, will these questions ever be answered? Technically, the series hasn't been officially canceled, but it hasn't been renewed either, so we don't really have an answer. Back in 2019, when the HBO programming president at the time was asked about the third season of BLL, he said that if the actors, producers, writers, and directors of the show came to him with some great ideas, he would definitely be open to it. But he also added that he didn't feel like that was going to happen. In 2020, Nicole Kidman shared that the cast had gotten in touch and that they were all willing to work on the third season. So, a potential third season hasn't left the minds of the talent behind the hit series, but we wouldn't hold our breath for it. Up next, even without the series, Zoe Zoe Kravitz doesn't have much to worry about. She seems to have gotten pretty big over the past year or so, especially after her amazing performance as Catwoman in The Batman. She starred alongside Robert Pattinson in the movie that went on to gross $770 million internationally, and confirmed to Kravitz that this was the role that finally did it for her. She recently even made her directorial debut with her movie Island. The story of the movie involves a cocktail waitress, played by Naomi Ackie, who accompanies a well-known tech billionaire, played by Channing Tatum, to his private island. Kravitz says that the film is on her mind every minute of every day, and that her brain just doesn't stop. It's screaming about it. Over the summer, she even spent 3 whole months in the Yucatan jungle, filming the movie. She wrote the script for it just a while before the Me Too movement, and said that it was more than just a cathartic thing for her to write about how she regularly witnessed powerful men taking advantage of women. The movie evolved with the help of co-writer E.T. Feigenbaum by her side, and turned into a film that explores the never-ending tug-of-war between men and women. Kravitz said, "Instead of making one good and one bad, I think it's interesting to look at what it is we're fighting each other for, and why, and what that does to us as humans. What's more, she's starting to show off more of her uncompromising and resolute side." Her dad, Lenny Kravitz himself, says that his daughter is someone who knows who she is and who she isn't, and under no circumstance is she willing to sacrifice or compromise upon that. Even those who have worked with her before and those who are currently working alongside her on her movie sing praises for her. Shawkat, who also stars in the movie, said that she is a great curator, very calm, and a great pack leader. Naomi Ackie, another actor from the same movie, feels similarly about being directed by Kravitz, stating that she's definitely a sight to see when she's in her element. But when Kravitz herself speaks about the time she spends on set, she mostly remembers all the anxiety, hesitation, and indecisiveness. In fact, she constantly worries about whether viewers will enjoy it or whether they won't take it seriously because they tend to hate actresses when they do stuff that isn't acting. Following up, that's where Channing Tatum has come to the rescue. The pair have been romantically linked since those iconic paparazzi shots from 2021 we're sure you've seen. This was right after Tatum was cast as one of the leads in Island. The two are still very much together, even though they may not be very forthcoming about their private relationship. But Kravitz got pretty candid during her interview with GQ. She gushed adoringly about her beau, calling him a wonderful human who makes her laugh constantly and shares her love for art. She continued to talk about how the two love to watch films and analyze them deeply together. Seems like they're the perfect match, don't they? As it would turn out, Tatum is just as great in the workplace. Kravitz talked about how ready he always was to help everyone on set, whether that was making her tea, or getting her a drink, or whipping someone into shape. She called him her protector on set, which is ultimately what strengthened their relationship even further. Finally, Kravitz also briefly talked about her unlikely friendship with none other than Taylor Swift. She said that while she was filming The Batman in London, she would often lean on her close pal Taylor Swift for support. Swift was in COVID lockdown in the area with her boyfriend, Joe Alwyn, and turned into a major lifeline for Kravitz. You'd also be surprised to know that Kravitz returned the favor by co-writing and providing background vocals for Lavender Haze on T Swift's new album, Midnights. Taylor Swift had nothing but great things to say about Kravitz as well. When she spoke with GQ, she talked about her friend's amazing sense of self, which is what makes her such an amazing and inspiring artist, and an even better friend. That's a wrap for this video. Are you a Zoe Kravitz fan? Have you watched Big Little Lies yet? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one!